Part 12. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 112. Iron Blood City. Lu Hong, the Iron Blood Lord, looked at the Battle of Toad Brunei in the light screen in front of him, and a smile appeared in his eyes. He opened his mouth gracefully, and the maid next to him immediately presented a crystal-clear grape. Lord Sunset, don't you want to recruit these high-quality players? He laughed, and the smile on his face disappeared in an instant, and snorted coldly, then I will destroy them one by one. After saying that, he spit out the grape seeds in his mouth, and a guard standing guard at the door in the distance was directly killed. The maids next to him, although frightened, had to pretend that nothing had happened. After all, this kind of thing is not the first time it has happened. Qingyang Mansion. Dongfang Ke, the lord of Qingyang, just saw the scene of his daughter being killed through the screen. Boundless anger rose in his heart, although he saw the scene of Dongfang Ling turning into fluorescent light and disappearing, he knew that his daughter was not dead. Instead, she escaped this disaster through the scapegoat. However, daring to attack his own daughter is simply an unforgivable crime. Come here, he angrily crushed a small walnut in his hand. Lord. The guard outside the door immediately walked in and saluted him. Go and call General Manager Fang immediately. I want to crush the Toad clan. Sunset City. On the throne, Wangzhu, the lord of Sunset City, also had a gloomy face. Wang Shuo was originally a target he was optimistic about recruiting, not only because of his outstanding performance in the novice trial. More importantly, he was brave and resourceful, and knew how to make choices. As long as he could survive the chaotic period of the village construction order, he would definitely have a place in the future. What a pity, he sighed silently. Due to the battle in Wana village, the scale of the battle for the village construction order was unprecedented. Tens of millions of wild beasts besieged a village, and there was even a group of bosses. This kind of formation was unprecedented. So it attracted countless lords from outside the domain to watch. Most of the lords sighed at this time. Just when everyone was not optimistic about Wang Shuo. Just when Gong Zheng was at his wit's end. Just when everyone in Wana village had lost hope. Wang Shuo finally made a difficult decision. Wang Shuo struggled to stand up and said to Gong Zheng indifferently, you have tried your best. Next, leave it to me. Lord. Gong Zheng's heart tightened, and he couldn't think of what Wang Shuo could do. No need to say more, I have my own plan. Wang Shuo shook his head and said in a low voice. He looked up at Toad Brunei. Wang Shuo said loudly, Brunei, you and I have no grudges, why do you force each other so hard? Brunei also stopped attacking. Gee, he laughed strangely. This strange laugh sounded like the howling of ghosts and wolves, and the huge airflow caused sand and rocks to fly in front of him, making a mess. Do you think you are qualified to talk to me? Did the stone man just now give you the courage? Ha 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 ha. I just haven't found such an interesting toy for a long time, and I want to play with it for a while. You ants are just food in my mouth. Does food have the right to question predators? Ha ha. Perhaps, he hasn't talked properly for a long time, and he yawned after he finished speaking. After hearing this, Wang Shuo was so angry that his face turned blue and his heart was furious. This is really, a toad yawning, a big tone. I just want to die with a clear mind before I die. Wang Shuo suppressed his anger and wanted to get some words out. He also felt that the beast that attacked Wana village this time was wrong. There must be something wrong, a big problem. It may even be a conspiracy. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 113. Since I'm in a good mood, I'll tell you. Because you killed Wentai, he is one of my descendants, Brunei said casually. In fact, this is just an excuse he made. If he hadn't investigated, he wouldn't have known that he had a descendant named Wentai. The real reason is that he got the promise from the Iron Lord. He couldn't say this. Wang Shuo stood there, motionless, thinking about countermeasures quickly in his mind. How can I let the toad swallow me into his mouth? Suddenly, the toad's eyelids jumped, his eyes suddenly became sharp, and a cold light shot out from his eyeballs as big as a millstone. Okay, since I've said it, then you will be my food obediently. As soon as the voice fell, he immediately stretched out his tongue and rolled Wang Shuo into his mouth. Toad Brunei, seemingly lazy, is actually vigorous and resolute. Either don't do it, or strike decisively. This is an important reason why he can stand out from many small toads and grow into a golden boss. Watching Wang Shuo being swept away by the giant tongue. Before everyone could react, Wang Shuo entered the giant mouth of the toad. Suddenly, everyone exclaimed, "Lord!" There were even some extremely loyal subjects who had completely recognized Wang Shuo. At this time, tears flashed in their eyes and they covered their faces with tears. Gong Zheng and others were even more grief-stricken. Just when everyone was immersed in grief, thinking that they would be the next to be swallowed. Bang! 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 The continuous explosions resounded through the world. Gong Zheng and Ayub, who were closer to the toad, were directly rushed dozens of meters away by the powerful explosion. Fortunately, they both had golden armor, which saved their lives. Most of the beast corpses in the distance were affected by the explosion and vaporized instantly, leaving no energy crystals. The few remaining broken walls and ruins in Wana village were also destroyed. Only one territory core was left, because it was hundreds of meters away from the center of the explosion, and after integrating the bronze village building order, its durability had reached 10,000 points, so it was preserved. As for the other residents, since everyone's level had reached above level 10, their health points had also been greatly improved. But at this time, almost all of them were left with residual blood. Before the explosion, several residents with lower health points also received boxed lunches directly. Among them was Wang Shuo's maid Ziona. When everyone came to their senses, only to see that the toad had been blown to pieces at this time, and the explosion in the body was still continuing. No! Desperate howling. Coming from the center of the explosion, the sound shook the 4 fields. Bang! Another earth-shattering noise. Toad Brunei could no longer hold his body. Completely blown to pieces. The broken limbs and flesh were scattered all over. A huge cloud of dust was left at the original place. Su Qing and the others were shocked when they saw it, their mouths opened wide, as if they could swallow an egg. They saw with their own eyes that Wang Shuo was sucked into the mouth, and then the toad exploded. Seeing such a tragic ending, Zhang Jinsheng shook his head, sighed and said, "Let's go." The power of this explosion was not as strong as the first one. So the people nearby were not hurt. After the explosion, the surroundings fell into a strange silence. What did the Lord do? Is the Lord dead? Countless questions popped up in everyone's mind. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 114. Members of the cavalry team began to head to the center of the explosion to search for Wang Shuo's traces. Although no one believed that Wang Shuo was still alive. But holding a little fantasy is better than being hopeless. Then, more people began to take action. They began to look for their lord everywhere. At this time, Duan Wengzi checked his friend list. He found that Wang Shuo's avatar had not disappeared. He shouted excitedly, "Boss, he is not dead yet, he is still alive." After hearing this, other people were greatly encouraged and tried harder to find him. Wang Shuo just felt dizzy. He couldn't figure out where he was now. You are dead, but the system detects that the player has resurrection coins and automatically resurrects. You can choose to resurrect on the spot, or teleport to resurrect randomly. Resurrect on the spot. His consciousness gradually became able to feel the surrounding environment. There was a cloud of smoke in front of him, comparable to thick fog. The air was filled with the smell of burnt meat, which was very pungent. Ahem, ahem. I heard the voice of the Lord. Li Weiguo shouted excitedly. Really? Where? Hearing this, Gong Zheng walked over quickly. It's inside. Li Weiguo pointed to the front, in the smoke with extremely low visibility. Let's go in and look for it. Let's go. Lord. The people shouted loudly. After Wang Shuo heard this, he was very happy. At least many of his people survived. I'm here. Gong Zheng smiled. As a tool man, this was incredible. Perhaps because of the increase in level and attributes, his emotions gradually became richer. Soon, Gong Zheng found Wang Shuo and carried him out. When everyone saw Wang Shuo, countless cheers rang out. Lord, it's really great that you're still alive. Long live the Lord. Long live Wana village. Yeah, we won. Seeing the excited expressions of the people, Wang Shuo was also very happy, with a feeling of surviving a disaster. At this moment, the system prompt sounded. You led your subjects to win the Defend Wana Village mission after a hard-fought battle. Award the title of Outstanding People and Beautiful Land for Wana Village's territory attribute. Effect: all subjects' qualification levels are increased by 1 level, permanently effective. Reward the village's popularity by 100. Award Wall Construction Technical Manual add 1, Light Catapult Construction Drawing add 1. Because you commanded properly in the defensive battle, you will be rewarded with command add 10. Award Reputation add 800. You killed the level 30 gold boss, Toad, ID, Frog 00001 Brunei. Your level is increased to level 24. Because you are the first player to kill the gold boss, you will be rewarded with all attributes add 5 and marrow cleansing pill add 1. Reward Reputation add 300. Your subordinates performed well in this battle. Reward. A series of prompt sounds made Wang Shuo a little overwhelmed. At the same time, all the people in the territory also received system prompts at the same time. Everyone showed an incredible expression on their faces. In an instant, they smiled, and then laughed out loud. My qualifications have been upgraded by 1 level, and I have also learned a skill called Precision. I have opened the command attribute and gained command add 2. I can lead troops. I have a reputation, and I actually gained 100 points of reputation. Wang Shuo was also very happy for everyone when he saw the rewards of everyone. He turned to look at Ayub and the others, and asked happily, how are you? Ayub replied, I have add 10 command, add 10 strength, add 200 reputation. Gongzheng, I have add 10 defense, add 10 constitution, add 10 command, add 300 reputation, and I also learned a skill on my own, Taishan pressure. Ayub turned to look at Gongzheng, and he inexplicably felt a sense of comparison. This made him feel incredible. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 115. This was a feeling he had never felt before. It wouldn't be strange if Bond Zhao was here. This is a manifestation of Toolman's self-awakening of consciousness after receiving major stimulation during his growth process. Of course Wang Shuo didn't understand this, and at this time, he had no intention of paying attention to his subordinates. System announcement: Wang Shuo, the Lord of Wana Village, led his subjects through an arduous and fierce battle and achieved a glorious victory in the village defense war. Killed 11 bosses, killed the golden boss for the first time, killed 10.2 million beasts, ranked first, hereby announces. The system announcement was broadcast 3 times in a row. These 3 system announcements are like a drop of water dripping into a hot oil pan. All chat channels that received relevant prompts exploded. I'll go, I won, why is there no system announcement? I don't accept it. What do you have to announce? Didn't you see that he killed more than 10 million beasts? He is simply more beast than a beast. This Wana village is definitely a monster. Oh my god. It's more than 10 million, but my village only has 100,000 wild beasts. I can barely defend it. You seem to have missed the point. He killed 10 bosses. Upstairs, you didn't pay attention to the important point. He killed the golden boss for the first time. What does the golden boss look like? I really want to take a look. Looking away, I was scared to death. Oh, mathematical intersection symbol. Mathematical intersection symbol, oh haha. You will be scared to pee, your whole family will pee. Now I just want to see who this Wangshuo is and whether he has 3 heads and 6 arms. I want to give birth to a monkey for him. Do any of the sisters come with me? Where is Wana village? I want to hug my thighs. Following this kind of thighs, this survival game is a ball. The same 9-year compulsory education, why is he so good? Are we playing the same game? I'm only level 21, and I can't even defeat a bronze boss. Upstairs, you're like Versailles. You haven't considered the feelings of those of us who haven't reached level 10 yet. I despise you. Humph, has Wangshuo considered my mood? Wangshuo is no longer comparable to us. He can only be used for worship. He is like a god of learning. We can't understand him. In the chat group, the reactions from those who survived were very intense. Wangshuo had now reached a height that others could not reach. Sushiu couldn't calm down for a long time. The Juyuan village he established had only killed 1.9 million beasts so far. He looked at the entire ranking list and found that the 3rd place only had 900,000. The combined number from 2nd to 10th place is not as much as his. He even went through the entire list. From him to 100, the total number of people on all the lists was still not as high as his. There was a trace of bitterness in his heart. He was a person with a strong heart, and it was rare for anything to cause a wave of disturbance in his heart. His ID is 6666, which is an extremely auspicious number. He has always believed that he is a person favored by fate and will be able to lead the players of Blue Star to create a prosperous era. After a brief moment of frustration, a golden light burst out of his eyes. He took a long breath and let out the decadence in his heart. No matter who he is, I am the one destined by destiny, so just regard him as a stepping stone in my growth. There are countless lords who feel good about themselves, who either admire, envy, or are unconvinced. Thousands of people, thousands of faces, not just one. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 116. Wana Village. Wangshuo also saw the message in the group at this moment. He was secretly happy. Then, he thought about it and sent a message in the group. I, Wangshuo, the Lord of Wana Village, welcome everyone to Wana Village to build a home of our own together and create a place to settle down in this troubled time. The location is 50 miles north of Nanshanji. Exposing the location of his territory was not a whim, but a well-considered choice. With the development in the later period, the location of everyone's village is not a secret and can be easily detected. Let more people know earlier, it can attract more refugees to come, which can greatly accelerate the development of the territory. After all, talent is the foundation of everything. After sending the message, Wangshuo wanted to see if there were any players responding. At this time, a familiar mysterious voice sounded in his mind. And just after he sent the message, countless lords suddenly realized and followed suit in the group. I, Tailang Village, invite all players to seek common development. The location is Some people even used Wang Shuo's name directly. Who cares? Let's trick people here first. I am the real Wang Shuo. My territory is 20 miles west of Nanshanji. Welcome everyone. Don't believe him. The person above is a liar. I am Wang Shuo's subordinate territory. The treatment is the same as Wana village. The location is 30 miles north of Ziokai town. We are also responsible for transportation. As long as you are willing to come, we are good brothers. Let's conquer the world together. Wang Shuo naturally couldn't see the following words of these people. Because, in front of him, an old man suddenly appeared. Wang Shuo saw that the other people around him did not react in particular. He understood that only he could see this old man. Congratulations, you have won a great victory. Wang Shuo was not panicked, because from the voice, he had judged that this person was the servant of God, Lord Zack. Lord Zack's voice was full of energy, but slightly hoarse. Wang Shuo thought it would be a middle-aged man, but unexpectedly, it was an old man. Are you Lord Zack? Wang Shuo's tone was calm, and the surprise on his face was well hidden. Aren't you curious about how I appeared in front of you? Wang Shuo's calm expression made Lord Zack a little interested. Lord Zack, you are mysterious and unpredictable. Your thoughts are unpredictable. And your appearance does not threaten my safety. If you want to harm me, you only need a thought. I naturally have nothing to fear. Not bad, stay calm in the face of danger, Lord Zack nodded approvingly. Do you want to know why so many beasts besieged you? And there are 11 bosses, and even a golden boss. Wang Shuo thought about it. This Lord Zack must have appeared this time because he performed well in this battle. He should be in a good mood. Isn't this question clearly asking me to tell you the answer? Wang Shuo smiled and nodded, of course, I'd like to hear more. I guess you already know that there are more vast areas outside this Dewey area. Wang Shuo did not interrupt Lord Zack, but nodded obediently. Yes, the lords outside the area can influence the game process here within certain rules. And this time, half of the beasts in Changping County came to besiege you, which was the request of the iron-blooded lord. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 117. What they asked for is ultimately up to you, right? Wang Shuo said with a hint of unhappiness in his tone. Haha, what, you're not convinced? Mr. Zack laughed unabashedly when he saw Wang Shuo's silent expression. If they want to release a mission, they need to pay a certain price. This is your reward for this victory. Lord Zack directly delivered a palm-sized object in front of Wang Shuo. Wang Shuo saw this small fountain-like thing floating on his chest. I felt a little surprised in my heart, but when I thought that Master Zack has great magical powers, and this little ability is just a drizzle, I felt relieved. For me, Wang Shuo asked tentatively. This is what the iron-blooded lord compensates you for. Wang Shuo stretched out his right hand and took this small jade-like fountain object into his hand. The system prompt sounds. At this time, Wang Shuo was sure of one thing. The system prompt and Lord Zack were not the same thing. The system is like a program, executed mechanically, and Lord Zack is more like an administrator, or even the creator of the game, with supreme authority. Fountain of Life, placed within the territory, each person will recover 1% of their health per minute. It can produce 1 drop of water of life every day, instantly restore 10,000 health points, and clear all negative status. Wang Shuo's calm expression could no longer remain tense. Stop pretending, let me show my cards, I just haven't seen the world. Wang Shuo's eyes widened, he couldn't believe his eyes at all, and he forgot to breathe for a moment. Is this really for me? Wang Shuo had a lump in his throat, and it was difficult to speak. Really, this prop is too perverted. As long as you stay in the village, you can recover your health at a rate of 1%. When you defend the city in the future, you will not only occupy the advantageous location, but as long as the people you lead are not killed instantly, you will be able to return to a completely new state after a while. Participate in the battle. Seeing Wang Shuo's shocked look, Master Zack finally smiled. It was as if his evil taste was satisfied. He narrowed his eyes slightly and smiled slightly. I am in a good mood today. I can reward you with a question. Any question will do. When Wang Shuo heard the news, there was no doubt that there was a thunder in his mind. For a time, his thoughts were complicated and various thoughts came to him one after another. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. What question should I ask? His thoughts were numb, and he was caught in hesitation and entanglement. Can I return to Blue Star? It seems that this question has no value for future development. After arriving here, Wang Shuo gradually began to adapt to this kind of life, and even felt a little eager for it. May I ask about the situation in the Weiyu? It seems that as time goes by, I will be able to understand this problem sooner or later. After thinking for a long time, he had a plan in his mind. What's the next step? Wang Shuo calmed down and said slowly. There was another question in his mind, what is the purpose of this game? But even if you know that you can't live, it doesn't make much sense. Smart kid. Master Zock's lips curled up into a wicked smile. You can ask the remnant soul in your body this question? Why did you choose to ask me? Lord Zack, before answering directly, asked Wang Shuo. Lord Zack, all of this is under your control. The process can change at any time. You cannot completely trust a remnant soul. If you make a mistake in judging the situation, you will lose everything. Very good, I like this answer very much. Lord Zack nodded appreciatively. Lord Survival, my shelter in Crocodile territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 118. However, I can't tell you directly, otherwise how can others play? This goes against my original intention. He paused and pondered for a moment. How about this? I will give you 3 tips. When the time is right, it will automatically open and give you a slight advantage. This is also my affirmation of your performance this time. Thank you, Lord Zack. Wang Shuo was delighted and hurriedly bowed to thank him. Looking forward to your more wonderful performance, ha 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 ha. Lord Zock's figure disappeared, leaving only his hoarse voice, echoing in Wang Shuo's ears. Wang Shuo wanted to say something else, but after thinking about it, he didn't speak. I was just a slightly stronger ant in the eyes of the other party. There is nothing to be complacent about. If one day, I can be like Lord Zack, the world is at my will, and I can come and go freely, that would be great. Wang Shuo was stunned for a long time before he came to his senses. Opened the backpack. Found that there were indeed 3 tips in it. When he took it out, he saw 3 small emerald green pockets with a strange pattern embroidered on them. Wang Shuo looked at it for a long time before he could barely see clearly that it looked like a map of a continent. However, there was only a simple outline and it was hard to tell what it meant. The mouth of the small bag was tied with a thin rope. Wang Shuo tried his best but couldn't open it. We can only wait until the time is right, Wang Shuo sighed and said helplessly. At this time, Dong Fangling, who didn't know where she was, also heard the system announcement. She was full of joy and raised a smile at the corner of her mouth. This stinky boy is not dead. No, I have to ask him how he killed this toad that can kill me in seconds. He looked at the devastated village. Wang Shuo was a little worried. The walls had all collapsed, and the beast corpses piled up like mountains around gave off a pungent smell of blood. In the quadrangle, only the most core village-level administrative center remained. The others have been razed to the ground, which is a pity for the houses and other houses that the people had worked hard to build some time ago. Woof, Woof. Wang Shuo saw De Huang running out from nowhere, and a surge of anger rose in his heart. At the critical moment, you disappeared, and the war was over, but you ran back. What's the use of you? Waste my food. Wang Shuo glared at De Huang and cursed. Woof, woof. De Huang was unmoved, barked a few more times, and kept pointing in a direction with his dog head. Wang Shuo frowned. Is this dog trying to take him somewhere? Without waiting for Wang Shuo to react further, De Huang took the lead and walked into the center of the toad explosion. The smoke at this time had dissipated a little, and he could see a distance of less than 2 meters in front of him. Not long after walking, Wang Shuo saw what De Huang wanted him to see. A huge golden treasure chest appeared in a shallow pit. Wang Shuo smiled and his eyebrows were raised. De Huang, well done. He immediately jumped into the pit that was less than 1 person deep and picked up the treasure chest. The size of this gold treasure chest was twice as large as the silver treasure chest. After putting away the treasure chest, Wang Shuo thought that he had not picked up the things that fell after killing the gold boss. It seemed that they were scattered everywhere. After returning to the territory, he immediately ordered his subjects to start cleaning the battlefield. There should be many good things outside at this time. Not to mention, there are at least millions of energy crystals on the ground. After arranging everyone's work, Wang Shuo sat in the core of the territory and began to think about the next plan. As for cleaning the battlefield, Wang Shuo gave it to Duan Wengzi. Now the loyalty of the lowest person in the territory is 95 points, which is worthy of Wang Shuo's trust. And Duan Wengzi's loyalty has reached 100, which is why Wang Shuo dared to give him such an important task with confidence. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 119. Rebuilding the village is the most important thing at the moment. Wang Shuo opened the Territory Properties panel. Territory Attributes. Territory, Wana Village, First Level Village. Lord, Wang Shuo. Territory Attributes, People's Aspirations, Outstanding People. Territorial Reputation, 100, First Known. Area, 2 kilometers in radius. Population, 6.5. Popularity, 95, average. Buildings, 1 First Level Village Administrative Center. Military, Cavalry Squad, Militia Squad. Upgrade conditions: to upgrade a second level village, you need a population of 200 people, a popular support of 80, and a second level energy converter. Seeing this introduction, Wang Shuo sighed in his heart. Yes, the population is insufficient. This war directly caused the loss of 1/3 of the population in his territory. This made Wang Shuo heartbroken. On the one hand, he felt heartbroken for his territory, but on the other hand, these were all living people. There were only 8 people left in the militia team, and the captain, Hua Tianxiang, also died. But the remaining people have experienced a great battle, have the attribute of command, and can lead troops. He looked at the above introduction again and found that a second-level energy converter was needed. He knew about the energy converter, but what the hell was this secondary one? The function of the energy converter should be to convert the energy of the energy crystal into usable energy similar to electrical energy. I don't know if this thing is easy to use. At this moment, he noticed that there were many important attributes improving props in his backpack. Agility Improvement Pill: after taking it, agility will increase by 5 points. Each person is limited to 1 pill. Python Gallbladder: after taking it, all attributes will be added to. Marrow Cleansing Pill: after taking it, the player's qualification level add 1. Wang Shuo drooled. Wang Shuo hesitated: should we eat together? Or eat them one by one? Before long, a strange smile appeared on Wang Shuo's face. Today, I will take the luxury of it and see if taking it at the same time will have any additional effects. So, he stuffed these several elixirs into his mouth at the same time. If any other players saw this, they would definitely cut Wang Shuo into pieces with jealous and angry eyes. It would be extremely difficult for others to get one, but Wang Shuo was so arrogant and inhumane at this time. Treat good things that increase attributes as snacks. After chewing hard for a few times, various flavors mixed in my mouth. Wang Shuo regretted it a little. It tasted sweet, bitter, and felt a bit like eating puffs. Various flavors stimulated his taste buds. But soon, the system prompt sounded. Your strength add 2, constitution add 2, agility add 7, spirit add 2. Your qualifications are upgraded from D level to C level. Each time you increase your qualifications, you will gain free attributes add 3. Wang Shuo's eyebrows were raised with joy, and he was even more excited. In addition to the improvement in all attributes obtained from killing the boss after taking purple spirit flower before, and the improvement in attributes brought about by the upgrade of Wandering Dragon Spear technique. Wang Shuo quickly opened the personal attributes panel after not checking his personal attributes for a long time. ID, SAC 5678 Wang Shuo. Level 24. Strength, 56, 26 add 30. Physique, 41, 31 add 10. Agility, 44, 41 add 3. Energy, 34, 33 add 1. Life skills, 1 mixing mud, 2 making mud pits. Qualification, C level, each level provides 3 free attribute points. Allocable free attribute points, 41, 7 add 34, points. Combat attribute panel. Attack power, 100 add 56 add 6. Defense, 20. Commander value, 38. Reputation value, 1850. Health value, 2810. Experience value, 1500/240000. Skill technique, Wandering Dragon Spear technique /. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 120. Duan Wengzi flatteredly took out many spoils of war. 9 dragons gold patterned AO, golden helmet, defense add 80, constitution add 50, strength add 50. Legion order, can form a 100-man brigade, long-range blocking add 20%, speed add 20%, attack speed and movement speed, morale add 20%. When Wang Shuo saw this legion order, he was stunned. He could actually build a legion. At this time, he thought of the cavalry squad medal. He slapped his thigh and jumped up suddenly. This thing is great. Duan Wengzi, you have made a contribution. Lord, there are good things, Duan Wengzi said, and took out a few things from his backpack. In addition, there is a golden key. Can this kind of key be exploded? Wang Shuo always thought that keys can only be made by himself, but he didn't expect that he could also get them by killing monsters. I am superficial. This golden key comes at the right time. Wang Shuo's mouth corners slightly raised, and he nodded. He immediately took out the golden treasure chest. After opening it, the things inside also made Wang Shuo's eyes light up. Village design drawings add 1, 1 line long snake formation experience add 1, North Sea Empire text record add 1. This village design drawing came at the right time. He was planning to rebuild the village. The previous plan was obviously a bit scattered. Once there were more people, the layout of some buildings seemed unreasonable. With this drawing, his village can be constructed according to the design drawings. Opening the drawing, I saw that in the neatly arranged hexagram walls, there were a lot of well-arranged buildings, including the central square, the territory center, the blacksmith shop, the tailor shop, and other buildings. After seeing it, Wang Shuo was very satisfied. One line long snake formation experience, the generals can understand the formation through continuous observation and learning. Formation. This is a double happiness for Ayub. Having just received the Legion order, and now the formation, his trusted general is about to take off. Woohoo! Take off. North Sea Empire text record. Through observation and learning, players can learn the ancient North Sea Empire text and understand the truth that has been forgotten by history. Wang Shuo's heart suddenly pounded. The truth forgotten by history? It feels a little bit afraid to peek. What kind of empire is this North Sea Empire? This question pierced a thorn in Wang Shuo's heart, as if it was scratching his heart. The Black Dragon City Dungeon, the Dragon King's Palace, and the North Sea Empire text that appeared in Nanshan collection. All of this seemed to hide some secrets. Wang Shuo calmed down. Gently opened the North Sea Empire text record. Oh my god, it even comes with a translation. Wang Shuo couldn't help laughing when he saw the content of the first page. This is basically a foreign dictionary. Every ancient text on it is annotated with text that Wang Shuo can understand. Moreover, after Wang Shuo read it carefully, he actually found something similar to a progress bar. In his mind, he seemed to recognize the word "a" written during the Beihai Empire period. The progress was shown as 1/10,000. It seems that there should be 10,000 words. Learn slowly. Wang Shuo put away the book. Looking at Duan Wengzi, he said, "Go and clean up the battlefield quickly, we still have to rebuild our home. Otherwise, we will have no place to sleep tonight." "Boss, don't worry, we have a tent," Duan Wengzi grinned. Wang Shuo kicked him and scolded with a smile, "If we live in a tent, what will happen if wild beasts come? We don't even have a wall. If there are still wild beasts that dare to come, they are just giving us food," Duan Wengzi muttered softly. "You dare to talk back? Go to work quickly," Wang Shuo kicked him again. "The long-term workers of the landlord can still take a holiday," Duan Wengzi ran away, still muttering along the way. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 121. Until the evening, the beast carcasses in Wana village were not cleaned up. As night fell, the cold wind blew. Wang Shuo sat by the fire and drank with everyone to keep warm. After this battle, the people in Wana village seemed to become closer. "Lord, come, I'll toast you a glass," a blue-eyed, gray-haired man came over. Wang Shuo remembered that this person was called Roger. When he was caught, he even wet his pants. "Haha, let's have a toast," Wang Shuo laughed heartily. "Lord, you don't know, at the beginning, I was really scared by you, but I didn't expect that after getting along for a long time, I found that you are not so scary." Roger was very relaxed at this time, casually spread his legs, leaned back, supported the ground with one hand, and took a sip of wine from the bottle with the other hand. There was no trace of nervousness at all. "Really? Was I so scary before?" Wang Shuo touched his nose a little embarrassedly. At the beginning, in order to quickly accumulate people, Wang Shuo used very drastic means. This left a bad impression on many people, but there was nothing that could be done about it. "Were you also scared to death at the beginning?" Roger was originally a timid person, but after getting familiar with everyone, he dared to take the lead in making trouble. "Xiao Yu, were you scared at that time?" "Anyway, I was very scared at that time. I thought I would be killed, or..." A girl named Yan Yu also whispered to Sun Xiao Yu next to her. These two girls, one has a tailoring profession, and the other is good at taming wild beasts. Her living profession is a breeder. If she wants, she can also learn a combat profession in the future, a tamer. "I'm not as timid as you," Sun Xiao Yu chuckled. However, everyone was sitting around the fire, and a man with sharp ears still heard what Yan Yu said. Immediately asked, or what? You speak so casually, it's very uncomfortable. In fact, the Lord is young and promising, with unparalleled fighting power, and also handsome. Miss Xiaoyu, this is actually your loss. Ha ha ha. There was another round of laughter around. Under the reflection of the fire, Yan Yu's charming eyes were a little shy, and her face turned red all the way to her ears. You stinky man, don't bully Xiao anymore, Sun Xiaoyu stepped forward and shouted to the men around. Her breasts were already very huge, and now they were even more graceful. Many men felt their blood vessels swell and their heartbeats accelerated. Miss Xiaoyu, how could we bully Miss Xiaoyu? You two are the beauties of our village that everyone loves. Ha ha ha. Who dares to bully you? I, Lojal, will be the first to disagree. I, Yan Fuja, will be the second to disagree. And I. There is a girl in the village named Xiaoyu, who is pretty and kind, with a pair of beautiful big eyes. After a while, someone started singing. These two girls are currently the cutest among the only 5 girls left in Wana village, and have won the favor of many people. Suddenly, there was a burst of laughter beside the fire. In this dangerous place, the nerves that have been suppressed for too long can be relaxed in a very simple way, such as chatting, singing, and drinking. Wang Shuo looked up at the sky when he saw this scene. A bright moon was hanging high in the sky, but he didn't know whether those people he cared about were safe in another world.